complete.
But guys, this is fascinating theater now. We've never seen Jake in this situation before, right? We're going to find out if he truly is a fighter. Fighting in the 4th round, what's going on in his mind? I'd love to know.
And you know, a straight right hand lands, and he's now emboldened to throw right hands, Woodley. But will he be countered in doing it?
And it looks like Paul is now biting down on his gum shield, and all of a sudden it is down to business after Woodley touched him at the end of the last round.
Okay, good break. Woodley roughing him up on the inside, which is exactly what he wants to do, right?
Don't hit on that break.
Lack of activity or not, this isn't Nate Robinson, this isn't Annie Sun-Gib, this isn't Ben Askren coming up with hip replacement surgery. It's going to take a lot to finish Tyron Woodley.
Minute gone in the 4th, and
I think the big question
there's
is,
a jab from Paul.
can Tyron Woodley generate offense? How does he do it exactly? And we don't know him as a boxer. How does he do that exactly? He did land a good straight right hand, but it'll take a little more than that.
Right hand to the body by Paul. Moving to his left, circling away from Woodley, but right into his power alley, the right hand. And there's an exchange on the inside. Minute and a half left in the 4th.
The fascinating part is that Woodley is walking him down. He just hasn't been able to really do anything offensively, but that may come.
I don't know how you feel, Al. I disagree with Jake's team. Longer this goes, I think it will favor Woodley. We're going to start to see him look a little better. I think Jake is getting a little tired.
Well, he seems to be a little bit, yeah. We'll see how that goes. I think they were basing it on the sparring sessions, but at this juncture, he's tired.
Paul gets rocked by Woodley.
He held on to the rope.
And he held on, and now Woodley beginning to feel himself. There's the jab by Woodley. Crowd on its feet. Again, Jake Paul in his hometown, but as many people want to see him get knocked out as are cheering for him to win.
He still looks stunned.
Woodley walking Paul down, and then Paul with the right hand. Woodley slips, but he got tagged with the right.
The plot is thick.
Yeah, high drama indeed as the seconds continue to tick away here in round 4 as we head to the second half of this 8-rounder. So Paul facing his first taste of adversity.
Well, Marl said it best. It is the first true adversity Jake Paul has faced in an actual boxing match. And it came courtesy of this left hook by Woodley. Who knew he had a left hook? He does have one. And it was a very well-thrown left hook. And then later in the round, using the jab, how about that? As a feint, and then the right hand kind of gets in on the side of the head. And he followed up with a couple punches, even though they didn't get there. So, roughing up Jake Paul a little bit, and what appeared to be a fatigued Jake Paul at that point. And that right hand bouncing off the side of the head and pushing him against the ropes. Could you call that a knockdown? I don't know.
Definitely knocked him off balance, and Jake Paul's body positioning couldn't make his corner feel good as round 5 underway.
I know one thing, that's probably the first round that Jake Paul has lost as a boxer.
And this crowd in fuego here as we begin the 5th. Paul looking to bounce back, double jab lands.
Yeah.
There's a right uppercut by Woodley.
Oh, wow. And a hook. Jake Paul needs to land something of note, I think, to keep Woodley off of him.
Yeah, Jake Paul is finally in a fight.
Yes, he is.
Woodley's confidence is growing. He's hunting him down. Look at that look on his face. He's been here before. Jake Paul has never been here before.
And this is where Paul, if he says he's worked on counterpunching, and he and BJ Flores have done it in the sparring section, this is where that counterpunching is going to need to come into the play.
And just like you mentioned, Al, our unofficial scorer, Steve Farhood, gave the last round to Woodley, making it the first round that Jake Paul has lost unofficially at least.
Well, Woodley had an interesting quote this week. He said, I'm going to do something that will be internet breaking. We'll see if he is.
There's a straight right hand that scores for Woodley. Hands are low. Now back up to a boxing guard. Still open, and Jake Paul's body language speaks volumes, guys.
I have not seen this look on Woodley's face since September of 2018 when he beat Darren Till in Dallas. The confidence is growing. Look at that guy right now. He's starting to believe that he can actually do it. And we haven't seen that for the last 4 fights.
Now, he has not been active in this round, that active in terms of only throwing 12 punches, so he's going to need to be a little more active at land something.
Oh, and that left landed for Paul. The crowd eating up every single second. They anticipate a major explosion coming. Both Paul and Woodley waiting for the other to make the first move.
And, you know, Woodley not too anxious to engage right now. He's been hit with a couple of counter punches, and I think he's trying to be a little bit cautious.
Wild right delivered by Paul. Uncharted territory for Jake Paul. And Tyron Woodley in his pro boxing debut giving Jake Paul the toughest fight of his embryonic boxing career.
When Woodley jabs, it's a good jab. It's an underused punch for him.
And as noted, trainer Stephen Breadman Edwards says a jab finds rhythms and breaks rhythms.
What a crowd.
What an atmosphere here in Cleveland.
No close rounds. No close rounds. Okay. You got to hear me, man. Listen.
Don't give this guy no time. You're giving him too much time.
Yeah, that's all he needs. You don't get no time. It's an easy fight.
Stay on top.
Well, Tyron Woodley had his moments in that last round as well. Throwing a nice uppercut on the inside. And later on in the round, and there you see him trying with the left hook, using the straight right hand that gets home. And that's where a more experienced boxer would have followed up with a left hook. Woodley not at that point yet. And then here's where he and Jake Paul had a kind of a moment with each other. And Jake Paul, I'm not sure what that was, but
Shades of BJ Penn when he licked his gloves back in the day, but there was blood on him back then.
Round 6. Jake Paul looking to go 4-0 as a pro boxer. Tyron Woodley looking to knock Paul off in his pro boxing debut.
Step back.
and you
Keep
know,
it
round
clean. Good
4,
fight, guys.
in my mind, round 5, a pivotal round in this fight because, and we'll get more from Steve Farley.
Yeah, let's bring in our unofficial scorer.
Mo, I agree, and Al, I agree that round 5 was the first really close round. I gave it to Paul. I wouldn't argue going the other way. As a result, I have Paul regaining a 3-point lead with Woodley clearly winning round 4.
I agree with that, by the way. You know, Woodley's only thrown 89 punches in this fight, and that doesn't mean he couldn't still win by being accurate, but he's going to need to pick up the pace a little bit.
Dave Chappelle agrees he's on his feet, encouraging the athletes to go to comedy in the house here. So many luminaries out for this unique night of combat sports entertainment. There's a left hook curling behind the guard. The jab, another jab by Paul on Woodley. Taking deep breaths is Jake Paul.
Certainly feels like he's gotten a second win. And I think we could finally put to rest the question, is he a fighter? I think tonight he is proving he is a fighter.
Tyron Woodley very judicious in dispensing punches out.
Yeah, that's, I think, could be his undoing here because while he's landed some good power punches, you know, only 15 punches this round, though Paul's only thrown 21, so it's not as if either man has been super busy.
Again, the left hook upstairs by Paul. 1-2, and Woodley closes the gap, starts to dig away with his free hand.
Paul is punching totally off his back foot. That's why some of those power punches are not making a big difference, but some of them are getting there, and that could easily be enough to win him this round.
Wadding footwork by Paul. 15 seconds left in the round.
Well, he thought enough to feint there, and that had an impact on Woodley.
Left hook, Woodley on the attack as we go to the 7th. Is he going to do a Superman punch there?
2 more rounds. 2 fucking rounds. Very good. We got it, okay? Stay relaxed, stay calm.
Deep breath. You're doing a great fucking job. Deep breath.
Good job, baby. Deep breath. Straight to do this. All day. We got it.
Jake, you're way ahead, bro.
You're up 6 rounds to 5 rounds to 1, okay?
You're way ahead, Jake, so don't get crazy.
Listen.
Stay calm.
Listen, this is what I need you to do this round.
We got 6 minutes left. I need everything you got, but smart. Everything, don't hold back. You don't want to get back there and be like, damn, I could have did more. You don't want, it's 6 minutes. You know how fast 6 minutes go? You want some dog shape. Let that shit go. Every time you touch him, he's scared. No, you didn't go first. I just need you to listen to me. You gotta trust me. Everything's gonna work out. Just go first. Use your face, move your head.
One thing's for sure, Woodley would love to be Jake Paul's kryptonite tonight as we get set for round number 7.
You heard Gerald Tucker say, move your head to Tyron Woodley. That's often been a critique of MMA fighters. They don't move their head enough.
Okay. They don't move off that center line, and now Woodley rushing Paul into the corner.
I got you. Hey, listen,
Time
stop with
ticking
that
away.
head when you're inside.
And they want to express the urgency to Woodley that he needs to land something big, and he's got to get in there and throw punches.
Yeah, Tucker doing his best Angelo Dundee impression there.
Yes. You know, I think the one missing piece in there, you see a little of it. I think if Woodley was jabbing his way in, he's showing a decent jab. It would put him in position to throw some of those power punches. And I wouldn't even suggest it, except we've seen he can do it.
It's never been a punch he threw in MMA, but to your point, there's something there. He just needs to throw it more.
Exactly, and he understood that. Paul's punches are certainly wider now than...
Oh, and he got caught with that left hand by Woodley.
And the wider they get, the more Woodley could take advantage of that.
Woodley staying composed in the center of the ring. Granted, we'd love to see an uptick in offense as they exchange. Paul's circling away, and Paul takes another deep breath on his back foot.
Well, this is one of the few rounds in which Woodley already has thrown more punches than Paul, so he has been a little more active.
And just past the midway point of the 7th. It was billed as Jake Paul's toughest test, and it is proving to be just that with 1:10 left in the 7th round. Just over 4 minutes total left in this fight.
Al, has Jake shown you anything that has surprised you from his last fight? You were there ringside. Anything new?
Well, no. I mean, I think he's showing some resilience in being able to go this distance right now. As the fight goes on, his technique becomes just a little bit
there's a
less.
Left hand that went through the guard for Paul. Neither fighter able to put together sustained attack or combinations as, again, they clinch.
Okay, stop. Don't punch.
And that will eat up precious seconds from the clock.
Which does not help Woodley.